Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the SportsCave episode 11. You can welcome some SportsCave. We're on #champs. I'm your boy Juice.
Hey,
Big Manny.
And we got a great show for you today. Of course, we're going to recap Week 4, preview Week 5, talk about Thursday's game and all your fantasy implications. We got some college football. We got some upsets to talk about. We're going to cover a little bit about some baseball playoffs and, of course, the ever-so-favorite What's Happening. So you guys get ready for a good show.
And stay tuned in.
You're now tuned in to the Sports Cave on #champs.
All right, so welcome to the Sports Cave, the official podcast of real fans. This show streams live on YouTube every Sunday morning at 9:30 Central Time. You can start your morning with us. We do interact with the audience through chat. We do take phone calls while we're on the air. And if you can't make the live stream, then you can visit and watch the show. It's available Monday mornings on YouTube, on iTunes, Google Play Music. It's available starting at 6. You can start your day with us. So we'd like you to subscribe to our community, and you can do that by visiting #champs.tv.
And don't forget to check out our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter handle at DaSportzCave.
That's the Sports Cave. So, guys, thank you for tuning in again. It's feeling great outside, so it's a wonderful start to our day. Football Sunday. It can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
It feels like fall.
Finally feeling like fall in Texas.
It's feeling like fall.
Right.
It's going to get a little warmer, I'm assuming, but it felt great to walk out, and it's a little chilly out there. But
nipply.
it's been a crazy football week, man.
It's been a crazy football
season.
Yeah.
It has. It's a little bit unpredictable.
We're at the quarter mark now, so you're getting
would
an
think
idea.
you'd have an
you
idea
think you
of-
have an idea of what
think,
teams are.
But
There's a
all
lot
your
of-
Super Bowl contenders at the beginning of the season are struggling, and
Yeah.
all your
Boy, my
all
picks
your
are-
teams that you had almost written out of the playoffs are starting to look like they contenders now. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm going to go back and watch episode 1 and just hit myself with all the picks that we chose. Well, that I chose.
like the Chargers.
Like the Chargers.
Yeah.
And
Chargers
sleeping
are
on the
0-4.
Chiefs.
Yeah, sleeping.
I'm sorry,
on
Jerry.
Told y'all about the Lions.
The Lions, yeah. See, so it's we're getting a good feel for the games, but I still think every week is a little unpredictable. Like, we can start with Thursday's game. That was it wasn't a
It
snooze
was an
fest.
expected shootout, and it didn't really turn out to be as
It
big a
didn't.
shootout points-wise. It wasn't a shootout as you thought it was going to be. Offensive-wise, like for fantasy purposes, it actually did turn out in the second half to be a pretty good
The fourth
game.
quarter saved me. I was worried a little bit there for a little while. I know a few people, myself included, that had a lot of Bucks and a lot of Patriots playing
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
couple different leagues, and
I was worried. I had Jameis Winston in there. He was looking rough in that first half.
I know he
but
came back and put some
He came
points
back
up.
and put some points up and kept
Right.
me in the game.
I had Mike Evans, and he didn't do much.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
Especially when you consider New England had the worst defense in the NFL going into that game. You were expecting Tampa Bay to do something at home, especially.
Right.
But bright spot for Tampa Bay's offense was Doug Martin, though. He
Doug
showed
Martin
out.
looked
man,
like
he
he's
showed out
back.
he didn't miss a beat
He
in
is
those 3
legit.
games.
He
made.
had one practice, they said, and he came in
No
there
contact.
and showed out. He looked good. He looked like he was worth holding
They
on
need to feed him the ball. That's going to open up the passing game for
It
Winston,
will.
man.
So,
Surprisingly, though, you're right.
Hey.
Evans didn't have a big game.
No.
Didn't have much.
Shout out to the second highest scoring player, with my kicker, Gostkowski.
yeah.
He showed out.
Jameis had a quiet game up until that last touchdown. He didn't really do a whole lot. He had a quiet game fantasy-wise and just stats-wise. He really didn't do a whole lot. Brady had a pretty quiet game, too. They didn't have
300
Gronk.
yards.
Well, they didn't have Gronk
Yeah.
playing. He's throwing 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. He didn't
Yeah, that's
have
true.
that in that respect.
Yeah.
He didn't.
No, he only had one touchdown.
Yeah, one
He did have
touchdown.
300 yards, so.
So I mean,
Amendola
couldn't
looked good,
score.
though.
still
I
good.
picked him
Amendola
up.
showed out.
Glad I started him.
Big time. Hogan got a touchdown.
Hogan
so
got
he's been
a touchdown.
paying off big time.
I had him in
Yeah.
one of my leagues. But surprisingly enough, everyone's giving a lot of love to the Patriots, saying that they're going to figure it out. But this is game,
A quarter of the season already.
how much are you going to give them to figure it out? Like, their defense is still looking – it's not
Suspect.
dominant, man, and their offensive line isn't holding up. Brady got knocked down
they're
a lot.
giving up, that defense is giving up over 300 yards a game.
Mike Patricia, Primo.
Passing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he looks like he's about
He
to
like
blow
you,
gas
yeah. He
out
looks
there.
like his veins about to pop
So
out. You might want to change it to a
anytime
pin
you have a
instead of
wide
pencil.
receiver playing against the Pats defense, play him. Because they're giving up over 300 passing yards a game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with Mike Evans.
I started D-Jax in a few of my leagues, and man,
D. Jackson finally put something.
He put up some points finally, and he had a couple long passes. Jameis, I mean, the Bucks came back and looked like they were going to drive, and they had a good chance to make it really interesting. But it just fell the cards fell the way they were. But Brady wasn't looking very good, man. You don't really see him on the ground that much.
Yeah, he was getting hit a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. So, Brate did pretty good for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Anybody who started him, he's paying off. He's been consistent since the end of last year.
Yeah.
So he's been
he
good.
was a
Even
good
with
pickup.
Howard in there, even with Howard in there, I had him at one time. I shouldn't have dropped him, but I'm impatient as can be.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate that
welcome,
pickup.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so Brady only had one touchdown. It was to Chris Hogan, 300 yards. He was 30 for 40, so he had a decent game. But the numbers on paper don't really explain or show you how kind of rough that game was for him.
Yeah, he had an interception too.
Yeah, he had an interception.
His first interception of the season.
The Brandon Cooks had 85 yards. He got a few receptions. Amendola had 8 for 77, but Winston put up 334 yards. So that's again, like Manny pointed back to Manny's point. The defense is letting 330 yards just all over the place.
Right, that was a quiet 300. It didn't look like
it didn't look like it was 300.
Yeah,
but I give props to the Bucks, man. You still looking like a tough team. The Patriots figured out a way to win it. They always
count the Bucks out.
You can't.
Their defense is pretty legit still. I mean, they didn't give up too many touchdowns. They just got beat in other ways, but their defense is still pretty solid. They were getting to Brady.
They were. I mean, he got knocked down a lot. I mean, that's unheard of, and that's kind of the thing you need to do to Brady is put him on the ground, and he gets frustrated.
Exactly.
And they did a pretty good job of it. Just they fell a little short. I still give a lot of credit to the Bucks.
McCoy was showing out on defense,
and they kind of give all those 2-minute drills kind of show you what they're capable of doing once they start getting in rhythm. So
yeah, they're definitely still going to be a threat in the NFC South. Definitely for sure. This be a team to look out for. And don't forget they're one game behind everybody too.
Yeah, so they already had their bye week. So congrats, Patriots. I guess if you like them, I guess it was a sloppy win, but a win's a win.
Yes, sir.
But that's what it matters on game day.
Sure.
But we do got some crazy games going today. Some hard ones to call. We'll get right into it. First game, Bills versus Bengals. They're giving the Bills 3 points, but this is kind of a tough one because the Bills are showing out. And they're playing good defense, but the Bengals have actually been putting up numbers the last couple of weeks.
Since they fired their offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They got a new offensive coordinator. They opened up the playbook, and Andy Dalton's been productive since.
He's been very productive.
I mean, the first game they had the new offensive coordinator. They almost upset Green Bay.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for one last drive with Green Bay coming back on them. And then last week, they tore it up last week. So they're trending in the right direction. I think Marvin Lewis is trying to save his ass over there.
Manny still wants his job.
To do everything.
Manny wants him cut.
Yeah,
but he's getting close, man. He's getting lucky right now that they're doing something.
I think they're starting to figure out that Mixon is the future of the running back committee they got.
Yeah, it took them a little while. They weren't sure. They were still letting Hill get his touches and Bernard giving him his touches too.
Bernard, he had that catch that took to the house last week.
Bernard's
so I mean, it's still tough.
Yeah.
To call in that running back committee, but I mean the running backs, all three of them are legit players on any team. You know what I mean? But I think Mixon is the future of their team.
Yeah. They probably need to feed him a little more.
Bernard's a good change of pace back and a good catching out of the backfield. What's up, Fredo? What's up, Rafa?
Hello.
What's going
on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Let us know y'all's thoughts if y'all have any questions, or if y'all think we're wrong
Fredo,
on our
send me your
picks,
thoughts.
Anybody?
I'll tell you who to start.
Raphael.
Yeah, Fredo, you might want to check that lineup, sir.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you who to start, Fredo. You probably want to sit Dak, bro. I would do it. Just do it.
Yes. But who are y'all picking in this game to win?
I'm gonna go Bills. Just I think their defense can put up. The Bengals are coming into it. They're in the rhythm, but I think the Bills have the capability of taking them down. It's a close game. It's a tough one to call. I'm going to roll with the Bills on this one.
I had Cincinnati before we came in, and once we started talking, the more I started leaning towards
the
Bills. I think I'm going to go towards the Bills also just because of their defense. Tyrod's been pretty consistent. Charles Clay's been making plays. McCoy's been looking really good. He's been looking awesome, actually. So
I think the Bills have just a little slight advantage in the offense, too, with some of their weapons.
And they're going to be at Cincinnati, so it's going to be tough.
I'm going to go ahead and ride with Cincinnati on this one. Because they're playing at home, I think their defense can compare to Buffalo's defense. They got some playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. Tyrod Taylor has known to make mistakes. I think this is a game where he throws at least one interception. They got a good running game. You know, they still got A.J. Green. Nobody on Buffalo side compares to A.J. Green. So they're going to have a hard time trying to cover him. The running game, you know, they use Bernard a lot, you know, on dump outs, and he can take it to the house like he did last week. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a close one. I don't think it's just going to be like one team going in there and just blowing the other one out. It's going to be, you know, that it comes down to one of those mistakes. But I think the Bengals will pull this one off, being at home. You know, they're starting to get hot at the right time. So,
would you guys start Dalton with confidence?
Not
without confidence. Well, not with confidence, but if it's an option that you have, he has been productive the last 2 weeks.
I'm looking at Dalton versus Carson Palmer.
Both defenses have played really well, so it's a tough matchup. Like I got Shady starting, and that's a tough matchup too. But he can still produce.
I would go with Shady.
Yeah, so it's still a toss up, and there's implications in fantasy wise where your defense you can't count Cincy's defense out because they are a pretty good defense still, and their line is great. So Dalton though has been productive the last 2 weeks. I looked at his numbers earlier in the week, and he has been productive, but it just depends on who else is your quarterback.
Right. I think they've only allowed like one passing touchdown on the season. So, Buffalo's defense, that's pretty tough, man.
So it's one of those that again, this season has been so off. You don't know. Someone may get blown out in this game. It's
been one of those seasons, man. It's been crazy.
Been one of those. Anybody else you guys got starting for your team?
Not in this game.
No.
Okay.
I thought about picking up the tight end for Cincinnati because right now I'm kind of streaming tight ends in one of my leagues. But
he scored 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, I mean he did, but I just scared about Buffalo. They haven't gave up. They've gave up I think the least amount of points.
Yeah, the matchup's not good.
To fantasy tight ends.
So may have taken advantage of.
I just went ahead with a different tight end. So.
Yeah, that's taking a big gamble, more gamble than I would want to take. I'm sure there's better options out there.
I think this is a good game to watch, though. I think it's going to be a lot of good plays in this game.
Some hitting.
We do have a question. Jorge Sancelo's Buffalo defense or Cincy's defense? Ooh. That's a good one, man. You put us on the spot real early.
I would take Buffalo defense.
I'm taking Buffalo.
If you look at the defensive numbers as a whole for the whole season, Buffalo's defense has been dominant. That's a great question.
As a whole unit, they play.
And then Dalton also at the beginning of the year, he was throwing a lot of interceptions, a lot of sacks, a lot of dumb stuff. So I think.
Dalton is doing good, but he can make mistakes
he's prone to make at least an interception, throw an interception or two.
I picked up Buffalo's defense in one of my leagues. I'm rolling with Buffalo.
I had Cincy's defense and dropped them too for another defense because there are better options out there. If that says anything,
Buffalo.
Or if you're going with the Sports Cave pick, my consensus is Buffalo for this game.
I appreciate it. And that's
good question,
Jorge,
man.
That's a new chatter, so thank you, Jorge, for that question.
Thank you for tuning in, man.
Right,
yeah,
we appreciate
it, bro.
The support.
Yeah, definitely.
Next one.
On to the Jets and the Browns. Wow,
do we want to touch this?
I feel sorry for whoever has to watch
Game of the week. Game of the week, guys.
I hope you guys have red zoning. This is not one of you got to watch, but I don't know. Is it even a question who we're gonna go with?
I'm going with the Jets.
I'm going
with
the Jets.
As far as like fantasy implications, the only person that really sticks out to me would probably be Bilal Powell. I would start him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I actually in one of my leagues before I made a trade, I was gonna pick up. I picked up McCown because of Cleveland's defense. Yeah, you've seen what Cleveland's defense looks like. But then I got a better option in the trade,
yeah,
so I was like, I'm not.
I looked at that. I looked at McCown too, and I was like, I don't know if I can pull the trigger on that.
I'm desperate, but not that.
Not desperate. Yeah, it's still a little early, but this one's this one I don't even really. We don't have to get too deep into it. Yeah. I'm just gonna go Jets.
Jets. I mean, if anybody on Cleveland side to start, maybe Duke Johnson.
In
who PPR leagues.
Yeah, in a PPR league in standard,
Crowell's
maybe not so much.
Yeah. Kaiser, I'm not really rolling.
Kaiser's looking horrible. I mean,
Jets
none of the
defense.
receivers
I picked up.
Jets.
I picked up Jets defense, so I'm hoping Jets defense is
in our
pick'ems.
We talked about this. I picked the Browns every week to score the lowest points.
Yeah,
they may surprise you, but it is the Jets, so I don't know, man.
So,
McCown can. He still throw maybe a revenge game. I can see him having a good game maybe, but it's still McCown. So
yeah, he's one of the 100,000 quarterbacks they've had at Cleveland at one time.
They're all revenge games.
Yeah, everybody.
Right. I'm rolling with the Jets on this one. It's an even line too, so there's not even a favorite. Yeah. It's kind of just they don't even.
Cleveland don't even have an advantage being at home.
They don't. They don't even show up to those games. You couldn't give tickets away. And then the Indians are playing later on, so I doubt anybody's going to.
Not to mention Kaiser, even though he was looking promising, You know, it's going to be growing pains. He has thrown the most interceptions of our quarterbacks so far.
He doesn't have help,
So-
man. It's any quarterback.
Yeah,
who plays
yeah,
in
Got a
forget
lot
Cleveland.
of pressure on him.
Yeah.
That's the
Not a lot of
quarterback
help.
cemetery over there in
It is,
Cleveland.
man.
So
It's
Sorry for
expected.
your college quarterbacks. You may want to just watch how you play. You're going to Cleveland.
Yeah, we'll just go on to the
We'll go on next one.
Right.
Panthers and Lions. They're giving the Panthers +1. This is going to be a good game, I think. Stafford, I think, can put up some numbers today, but is Cam going to
tough.
come back and put up some numbers
Those are
too?
two tough defenses.
Yeah.
So Stafford versus the Carolina defense is a good matchup, and then Cam versus the Detroit defense is good too.
That's a good
so
one too.
I don't know, man. It's tough because Carolina showed out last week.
Yeah.
Really
yeah,
good.
it just to me, it's going to come down to what Carolina team shows up. The one that was, you know, throwing 3 interceptions and not scoring
Or the
against
dominant-
Buffalo,
or
or
the-
is it going to be the one that, you know, tore up New England last weekend?
The Carolina of old.
Yeah, and then you also got to think about it with Cam. He did have a shoulder injury. He's barely getting to 100%. He didn't have no training camp, so you got to think about it. These 4 weeks has kind of been his training camp, you know, his preseason. So I think he's getting it together. I think he's going to start to get hot now for the rest of the season as well.
He showed out last week. He did have a lot of distractions going on this week too.
Yeah,
though.
we'll see how-
I don't
we'll
know how
see how
that's
that
going to
goes.
affect him.
Yeah, he might have lost some sleep having to write apology letters and
Right, loosen endorsements.
no more yogurt for that guy.
That guy, yeah, no more than that yogurt.
Yeah, man. But I
That's
don't-
going to be a tough one to call. I think I may even change it after I do my pick. It's one of those another toss-ups, man. I'm going with Carolina, but I see now, like we talked about earlier, we talk about it out loud. I think Detroit has a chance too, man.
I
Stafford,
mean,
you
I
can't
put
cut
Detroit
the
in the
gunslinger out.
playoffs, and Detroit is good. They're playing great football, but I just got a feeling this is a trap game for them. I think they're gonna let Carolina go in there and just do something to them. I don't know.
I'm going to pick Detroit because I think, like Ugo was just saying, Stafford finds a way to win. He may not even put up a big stat number game. Like, he's a horrible fantasy quarterback, but he finds ways to win.
Right.
I mean, we've seen him against our own Cowboys making big plays at the end of the games. I think he's going to come through for them. I think it'll be a close game, though.
Hopefully they don't get beat by the refs like they did last week.
Yeah, but I don't. As far as fantasy wise, I wouldn't start Stafford against them. Golden Tate, I'd probably start. Amir Abdullah's doing pretty good. I'd probably flex
Yeah,
him maybe.
Abdullah was doing really good.
And
I got him starting in my league.
Yeah,
you
this
know,
is
I
a
ain't had
big-
no choice. But
It's gonna be a good game.
Right, this is a big bye week. I mean, we have Atlanta, Denver, New Orleans, and Washington
all on bye weeks.
on
That's
bye.
a lot
So
of
if
Thanks,
you have
NFL
Abdullah,
schedulers.
if you have Abdullah, then most likely you might have to have him
You might have
starting
to
as
play.
your running back too.
yeah,
or
because I
in
had
your flex.
Deontay Freeman and he's on bye, so I had.
Yeah, Fredo, I wouldn't start him though,
See,
Fredo.
called it. I haven't even looked at Manny's lineup. You see, this is how we do things. around
This is
here.
how we do, man.
But seriously, he's been doing pretty good.
I'm rolling with the Panthers,
Ebron,
but
I probably
again,
wouldn't start with.
Nah.
Panthers. Any Funches had a big game last week. Would y'all roll with him against Big Play Slay?
I was thinking about playing them, but at this time I'm not playing them just yet.
Yeah.
'Cause I just because I had a better option.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough to. It's
Yeah,
Detroit
I'd say-
secondary, man.
I'd say flex maybe at best. I mean, if you have a wide receiver too, I wouldn't be too
Depending
thrilled
on
about
what you're-
starting.
yeah,
him
I mean,
at wide receiver, too.
if I had a lot of bye weeks, that hit my team, I would
Yeah.
definitely consider him as a flex for sure.
check, wager your options on who
'Cause,
you have
I
on
mean,
your
worst
team.
case scenario, he's still going to get you 10, 11 points.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, he's going to go off like he did last week. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I have Matt Prater, so I'm hoping he gets some field goals in.
Yeah, you'll probably get some.
I'm thinking so. I think their defense is pretty
Last
tough
week
in
I
the
got
red zone.
25 put on me by another kicker. So
Oh,
kickers are
yeah.
doing good this. Well, the good kickers are doing good this
Yeah.
year.
so Carolina for me.
Not you, Nick Folk.
I'm taking Detroit.
I'm taking Carolina, but this is a toss up. I wouldn't be mad if I was wrong. So
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes.
the next one we got is the Niners and the Colts. Another one that you're gonna have to watch.
Man, these are tough games to call, man.
This one,
It's like
man.
Jacoby,
This is Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. He's been doing okay.
Man,
against
he
the
killed
Niners.
me last week.
Yeah.
Not that I played him, but he threw that
He did.
interception for a touchdown.
It's hard to determine how good he's gonna do, man. But
Niners defense has
the
been
Niners
pretty good.
defense has been stepping it up. They played
got a
really
lot of
good
young,
against
good
Arizona,
talent.
man. So this one, as my pick, I'm picking the Niners to win this one.
I picked the Niners also. I have Pierre Garçon. I'm starting against Indy's D. Indy's D.
Carlos Hyde was running good last week.
Yeah.
So
Warriors
against
been
Indy, Indy's one of those ones, man.
Warriors been okay.
Yeah, Warriors been all right. He's been doing good.
I trust him more than I trust Brissett based
Yeah.
on experience. Also,
they
so
played
I
good
think,
last week.
Yeah.
I mean, based off last week,
Indy hasn't just shown me anything that makes me confident in ever picking them unless they play maybe
Jack Doyle's out.
Their running backs are almost non-existent. Gore hasn't really done nothing, even though he does have a chance to move up in the all-time rushing list today to pass Eric Dickerson today.
They're gonna feed him, but I think the Niners can stack the box, bro. Because I mean, who else are they gonna?
It is his first game against the Niners, so I don't know if that's gonna hold
revenge
any
game.
weight. Maybe a little.
Right. Sometimes they
I'm not
tend
done
to go
yet
off
type of
against
game. Maybe get.
Well, I know they do limit.
They're trying to feed him a little.
They
more,
try to
maybe
limit his touches, but he's not gonna. Frank. I mean, if he's doing good, let him run, man. Let him run.
How do y'all feel about the Colts wide receivers?
I don't feel anything about them. I just don't feel confident.
Quarterback's got to get him the ball, man.
I was looking at T.Y.'s numbers with a buddy of mine at work, and I was just like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I guess you don't have any. Yeah, you're gonna start him just off a name and where you drafted him
because he can still get open. But
if I was him, he wouldn't do it. But if I was him, I would have benched him. But I know he wasn't gonna do it. Yeah, but I wouldn't be confident in any of them.
Raphael wants to remind Nick Folk laces out, and I think they were out, bro. I just don't think he. I don't know what was wrong with him.
We
and
did miss that. That's a good
Tampa,
call.
He hit that Madden hook.
Yeah, 3
that boy was hitting
goals.
X real quick. He didn't even wait for the adjustment.
Right.
Yeah, that looked like me playing on Madden with the meme that came out trying to get the kicker thing. Yeah, that was horrible. I feel sorry for him on that after that game.
Yeah,
but that's who they chose over what's his face?
Aguayo. Yeah, but Aguayo got cut quick too, so they're having a lot of issues.
Aguayo's unemployed right now.
They might have to get Aguayo's brother that's at Florida State.
I was thinking of dusting off the cleats and go trying out in Tampa.
We might have to go.
I was gonna call Adolph and say, let's go hit the field real quick.
Hey guys, if this money, get out there.
If this show don't work out, we can go try out be a kicker.
I can start a GoFundMe to support my
Tampa Bay Bucks.
We need to get that highlight reel. Mino, what's up, man? We need a highlight reel.
We need a highlight reel. Sit over get some field goals. Send in my mixtape to the Bucks. McKinney Powers audition tape.
I think I still got some Garland high school game film from
some soccer cleats
from my 3 extra points that I kicked in the game.
There you go. Bring out the highlight reel, man.
Hey, I scored more points than some people.
Al Bundy.
More than Nick Folk.
Man, that's crazy.
All right, so Niners. We're back on Niners and Indy. I'm picking Niners.
I'd have to go with Niners just because they have the more consistent offense than the Colts. So I think I have to go with the Niners on this one.
We'll all agree on that. And then moving on to another trap game, the Titans and the Dolphins. That's another tough one to call.
Last week before the injury, I would have definitely said Tennessee. Now it's,
Matt Castle.
I don't know.
Castle. That's all you got to say. Dallas fans, do y'all remember Matt Castle?
He is still around. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
He's still on a roster.
Not gonna lie, I didn't think he was still in here.
Still catching them free checks.
No. And what gets worse is, do y'all know who they picked up after during the week?
No.
Brandon Weeden.
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
they're getting all the Cowboys rejects.
Did you say Brandon Weeden?
I said Brandon Weeden, and Colin Kaepernick's still chilling.
Did you get? Did you get the name right? Brandon Weeden.
Brandon Weeden is out there. So let's rewind back a couple
Brandon Weeden
to the Cowboys when we had these two clowns.
Did they forget Kaepernick?
And now Tennessee has these two guys as their quarterback. So that's why I'm definitely picking Miami.
Y'all might as well call Troitman out the booth, man. Yeah, Romo's still out there.
I know Tennessee has a line and they have a good running game, so that's going to keep them in the game. But I'm picking the Dolphins.
Kellen Moore with that.
The Tennessee Titans defense got torn to shreds. Last week.
I think the
by
Dolphins
a rookie quarterback. So I think the Dolphins are going to be.
The Dolphins got a good run. Ajay can have a big game against the Titans.
He needs a big game. He's been quiet all season. So I think he's due for a game.
And they have good
receivers. Get right against the Tennessee defense. By the way they looked last week.
Mariota was in, I'd go Tennessee. But without Mariota, I'm rolling with
Miami.
I'm rolling with the Dolphins.
As far as
I originally picked Tennessee, but I think I'm gonna have to go back and change mine to Miami.
I would start
They're playing at home, so I think Miami has just a little bit more superstar level without Mariota. I think even with Cutler, the players that they have are gonna make plays. Ajayi, they can run the ball. They got
Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills,
Parker.
Devontae Parker. I would start all those skill position
It's weird
guys.
as it is to say I trust Jake Cutler more than Matt Castle.
And like Adolph said, they let a rookie quarterback put a 50-pointer on him. So 52 points. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's the first. I think first team to score 50 points this year, right?
Man,
Yeah,
That was
definitely.
atrocious. So yeah,
No, the
I'm going
Rams were up
Dolphins
there
with
with
this one.
40
All you
something.
Dolphins fans out there.
Yeah, and Tennessee, I would start Murray. I have to start Walker because of the way the tight end picture looks.
Yeah.
As far as Miami
I'm
goes,
starting Walker still too. That's
I
an
wouldn't
easy
start
check. That's
Julius
a,
Thomas.
with Matt
that's an
Julius
Castle?
Thomas
easy.
hasn't done much. What's
Hold
that?
on,
Easy
even
check
with
down.
Matt Castle?
Yeah, he's a 10 point. Yeah, with Castle. Even with Castle, I
It's
think
an
he'll
easy
still
check
be okay.
down, bro. Like,
it's a good
yeah.
matchup again for tight ends.
He's gonna dump off a few because he's gonna be under pressure. Tight
Yeah.
ends open.
He's captain check down.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an
Tight
exciting
About
game,
that,
but
yeah.
Not an
And
exciting
Rafa
game.
said, "Don't forget about DeMarco."
Yeah, DeMarco. That's a good start.
He had a quiet game, but he came back strong.
right. I think he's still not 100% from his injury. Maybe he'll have a breakout game this game. So
Yeah, I traded him. So,
Definitely.
but DeMarco's still he's still a good start against the Dolphins. So
Yeah, for
he's
sure.
gonna get fed.
Cool.
Next one up.
The 0-4 bowl.
0-4 bowl. Chargers and Giants.
who
Man,
gets their first win?
I'm going Giants get the first win, even though they're a division rival.
I'm going with the 10-minute tie.
10 minutes. There you go. Can we go with the
We got
tie?
that. We got the tie. Or
I'm
the
rooting for a tie.
rules change
And it
in
might-
overtime.
It might just happen that
Can
way.
they go 0-0? 10-minute tie. No,
That'd be nice to be
But
0-4.
no,
Right.
I think the Giants are gonna win on this game.
I think so. They've been.
I think if you have a Giants player in your fantasy team this week, play him.
Yeah, to me, the
Coaches
Chargers
haven't
just
been-
find ways to lose. They
Yeah.
just horrible.
Eli's been putting up some decent numbers.
And they're
the last
at New
couple
York
weeks.
too. Yeah,
Odell Beckham is
yeah.
doing what he does.
He's legit. He's showing.
Brandon
he's
Marshall's starting to get
probably
some
the
work
best
in.
receiver in the game right now. Is he not? Like,
Yeah, the biggest
Odell?
crybaby, but still
Yeah.
one of the best receivers.
Yeah,
out
I
there.
mean, he's been putting up more numbers than Brown, than Evans, than
Sterling
Julio,
Shepard's is a good
and
pickup. That
Amari,
you have
yeah.
him. It's a good option. He's been getting lots of attempts.
He's been
as well.
steady. Yeah, he's been getting a lot of looks. Cause
I should have kept him on my bench, man.
Yeah, I should have kept him, but I traded him for a quarterback, as I'm talking about earlier. I traded him for Carson Palmer, but Shepard should be doing well. Brandon Marshall's actually picked up.
Yeah, he's picking up.
He's
some,
doing pretty good. Their running game still sucks.
Yeah,
So
they have
if you have a
non-existent
receiver, it's a
running
good
game.
option.
Yeah, definitely. But they look pretty good. Their defense
Ingram's
is still
doing
pretty good.
good.
I think their defense are going to get
The
at least
Giants,
an interception
to
on
me,
Rivers.
the Giants have the stronger defense, definitely.
For sure.
And, Phillips doesn't do good against strong defense like that where they
Rivers.
start pressuring them.
Right.
So,
Yeah, they're going to be getting to him. Their front seven is really good. Rivers, would y'all start him at all against the Giants defense?
no.
Right? I wouldn't.
Straight
I'd
no.
question it.
Yeah, I mean, with bye weeks, it might be tough, but yeah, I would start him reluctantly or try to look for
This is
better
where the bye week
options
really
out there.
plays
There's
a
gotta be
part into
better
your game.
matchups.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen,
Allen.
what do you think about him when he gets Jenkins over there?
See that I trust Jenkins to cover him all night, and you might want to think
So
of
does
someone
that
else.
mean a
that's
bigger
there.
game for Tyrell
That's what I was
Williams?
going to say. I
Probably.
think so. I think I would be looking more towards him if I have him and probably start him in my
Because
flex.
we saw what the Giants can do. We played
Wide
them, and it
receiver
wasn't
too.
an easy game by any means at all. So
Mhm.
you got to give their defense a little more credit than what they are getting. So probably gonna go with I'm going with the Giants winning this one.
What about Melvin Gordon?
That's a
he's
tough-
been
that's a tough
man.
one.
He's
It's quiet.
like he had a rookie season that was okay, then he had a breakout year, last year, and then this year he's been kind of like,
Yeah.
Where
They're
you
targeting- They're bringing his touches down, and there's another running back. I can't even think of his name right now, but he's been getting a lot
Oliver?
of. Yes. No,
Brandon-
not Oliver. There's another one.
another one.
Also, Oliver was the one that they were saying he was going to get touches, and then they
But
give
then-
this dude this touches, and he's been out producing all of them. So
Yeah, but I also don't know if it's got to do with them always being behind.
that's true.
That's true,
Also,
always.
that's a big thing too, because I even thought about picking up the guy. I can't think of his name right now,
Yeah.
but that was a big part of it too, because they're behind in so many games. They're having to throw
gotta throw a
constantly, but it
lot.
also opens up
But it's-
room for error for.
But this week is harder to
Rivers.
throw. It's gonna be harder to
Be a
throw.
lot harder to
Right.
throw against that defense.
So
I think the Giants get their first win this
yeah,
week.
way to go, Giants. Blah.
One of them's got to win.
Well,
Yeah.
those are 3 games back to back to back that I'm not too big on.
Yeah.
So
Not looking good.
not looking good for as far as matchups this
Match,
week.
but the next game is going to seem a little more interesting to watch.
Yeah.
The Cardinals against the Eagles.
I mean, this game has the potential to have a breakout game like for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Philadelphia's been playing good every week. They just they've struggled to win, but they played really good. Their
consistent.
defense isn't as great, but their offense is making up for it. Their running game is like a lot of teams in the league. Their running game is like running back by committee. Their
No
best,
Smallwood today.
Yeah, no
as far as-
Smallwood.
Smallwood's out.
They were already minus Sproles, so the running game, I don't know. LeGarrette Blount has been over there. He hasn't really made a lot of noise. He gets some, red zone touches and stuff, but he hasn't really just been a breakout player over there.
Yeah, they may not have a choice but to roll with him today.
Yeah, they're going to have to. So there's a lot of good implications for some throws today, but they're playing a Cardinals defense that is supposed to be a top-notch defense.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a good matchup. I think I'm thinking there may be somewhat of a shootout. Just because their offenses both can produce at any time, any given time.
Arizona, even without David Johnson, they've been offensive, still been able to move the ball. They throw a lot. They got some good wide receivers. They got Fitzgerald, they got Brown, they got Nelson. Fitzgerald's supposed to move up soon on the all-time passing list to pass Steve Smith this week. So if he, depending on how he does today, he probably move up.
Throw the ball.
He's an ageless wonder.
Yeah, that dude's been producing since he's been in the league nonstop.
Yeah, I can see him having
Super
a big
Bowl
day,
champ
big
and
time.
everything.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Carson Palmer against the Eagles defense. They've been okay, but they've been giving up a lot of yards.
It is a tough place to play in Philly, though. Those are some rude, ruthless fans over there.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, he's been doing pretty good, though.
Yeah.
He's been leading the team to 3-1 record.
I'm going with Philly. I'm going with Philly in this game, as much as it hurts to say.
I'm scared to start Alshon Jeffrey against Patrick Peterson.
That's
a good matchup, man. That's going to be a good battle,
though. I'm going to sit him, though, just
Yeah.
because he hasn't been too consistent all year.
I got him in my lineup right now, but I'm considering benching him. He's projected high, but he's been off his projections all season.
Big time.
He's had like one big game and one okay game. Other than that, he hasn't just done what he was signed to do.
Zach Ertz is the start. Yeah,
he got signed in the offseason to go over there and be a legit wide receiver threat. I drafted him as a wide receiver 2. He hasn't been putting up wide receiver 2 numbers. I don't know.
But against the Cardinals, some quarterbacks have the potential to have big throws and big games because they are beatable. I mean, their defense is good, but it's not
as dominant.
It's not as dominant as it used to be. It all depends on they're not going to be running as much, so they may look to throw more, maybe move around and slot.
I am hoping for Ellington to have a good game. I did pick him up off
especially in PPR.
Off the waiver wire 2 weeks ago. He's had he's got some good games. So we'll see if they continue to use him in the passing game, which is good for me. Arizona likes to throw a lot, so he's always out there. Yeah. So I think Arizona has a chance to beat the Eagles. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Eagles are gonna win just because they're at home. They've been the more consistent team. Arizona does have a better defense, but I mean, I'm hoping Arizona pulls the offset off, but I'm still gonna go with the Eagles.
I am too. As Ugo mentioned, Ertz has been killing it. He's been the best tight end in football. Honestly, like for the first few weeks, he's been the best tight end. So I think he's a big weapon. He's gonna be the X factor in this game. I think Philadelphia is gonna win it too.
And hate to say it, but they cover. If you put double coverage on Ertz, then you got some openings for your receivers.
Yeah, Aguilar, would y'all start with him? No.
That's a tough one.
He's been quiet, right?
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet.
Yeah, John Brown maybe coming back today.
Yeah,
so I think Carson would have a good game regardless.
I think all of their weapons. it's hard to call.
To be honest with you, I think Arizona will fall behind, and then they'll start throwing. So I think the wide receivers for Arizona for sure. I think Palmer will have a better game this week than he did last week. He was horrible last week.
Yeah,
but I think he'll bounce back. He always does when he has a horrible game. So.
That should be one of the first good games to watch all day.
Definitely.
So that's probably one you want to tune into.
2 good teams playing against each other. Yeah.
The next one is Jags and Steelers. They're giving the Jaguars +10, but man, they've been playing like crazy, and then they don't play great. But then the same thing with the Steelers, man. You think they'd come out dominating with all their weapons they had. We talked about that in the first show, like, oh man, their weapons are all great, but
then you have Antonio Brown on the sideline throwing tantrums.
Yeah. Le'Veon Bell had one good game that he finally had, and he scored like 30 points in the fantasy for me.
Killed me.
Yeah, Ben's been killing a lot of people in fantasy football too. He's been inconsistent.
Traded him away.
Yeah.
But
and Jacksonville's defense is pretty tough.
They've been playing good, man. It's hard.
I think to me, what's been killing Jacksonville still is Blake Bortles, man.
Yeah.
He had that one big game, against the Ravens, but other than that, he hasn't been like producing like he should be producing.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors of them just tanking this year and then going for the number 1 pick and getting the number 1 quarterback from USC.
They're about a quarterback away from having a decent team.
I mean, the team is solid. The defense obviously is getting a lot better than it has been. I wouldn't say they're like a top tier defense, but they're up there now.
They're productive.
They got some
defense,
playmakers over there. They have a running game now, a legit running game, so that's not the excuse anymore.
Yeah,
So,
the Fournettes,
I understand Robinson is out, but I mean, Hearns and Marquise Lee are still suitable wide receivers that if you can get the ball to them the right way, you can have big games at quarterback with them.
Yeah, is Lee playing today? I know he's had some health issues.
He is playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they need him.
But he's not 100%.
Yeah, so
It just depends on how the Steelers defense plays. Are they going to give up the big plays and give up the points, or are they going to sit there and actually hold somebody back?
Right.
And
Pittsburgh's also tough at home too, though.
and
Heinz
it's
Field is definitely
a tough place to play.
Yeah, I have Brown, and he's Jacksonville's one of the tougher matchups against the wide receivers. But I mean, it's Antonio Brown.
It's Antonio Brown. You play him every week.
He's had a
in the
quiet
lineup.
game. Hopefully, his little temper tantrum help him will help get some production coming his way because I need him to score, man.
So do y'all see Bell having another
I think
big
so.
game?
He had his coming out party. He's had
I
his
think he's
4
back in
games
focus
in
now.
I think he's starting to get more in shape.
He had his preseason in. He's good to go. He's back to being.
And they're going to need him. They're going to need him today.
And Martavis Bryant, would y'all start him?
I'm starting him in one of my leagues.
Flex or?
Yeah, he's still an option. Antonio gets
flex.
Antonio gets all the he gets all the attention.
I mean, he's had one big game. Other than that, he's been kind of
quiet. So it's kind of a toss up, but.
Yeah.
It's in a league that I didn't pay an entry fee.
Okay.
So,
roll with it.
We'll roll with that. Yeah, not too bad.
I mean, you don't have a better option. Than,
if you don't have a better option, but he has the potential to have a big game, especially if
to me it's a high risk, high reward.
Yeah, it is, man. It's
a
boomer bust.
He's either gonna have a great game or he's gonna kill your points.
Yeah.
So
it just depends on your options. Moving on.
I did pick up the Jesse James though. I'm hoping for a good game from him.
Outlaw.
I didn't have no other choice, man.
Put your hands in the
Jack
air.
Doyle, I forgot to say when we were covering the coach, Jack Doyle's out today.
Yeah.
So,
man.
We got you, bro.
So
next, Ravens and Raiders. What Carr's out, right?
No, we got Seattle, don't we?
Well, it don't matter.
It don't matter. Ravens and Oakland.
Ravens and Raiders. Ravens and Raiders.
Depending on what list you're looking
Yeah, what
at.
list are you looking at?
Sorry.
It's all good. No Derek Carr, so we got EJ Manuel.
You know what, man? Even though he's EJ Manuel,
don't even say it. What? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not saying they're gonna put up a game, but the Ravens defense has been all off. If the Raiders can have a decent running game, it may open up some options to throw.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Their decent running game, I get that.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch
he's
been okay.
Nothing like what he was supposed to.
Exactly.
The Ravens.
He hasn't been beast mode. He's been okay.
So
mode.
the Ravens are going to expect that
something.
the Raiders are going to try to go run
But it's still EJ
heavy.
Manuel.
It's still EJ Manuel.
And
it's going to be tough.
They had a decent drive at the end to try to come back last week against the Broncos.
Yeah,
but it just wasn't enough.
It's hard, man.
It's a tough one because it's EJ Manuel, but you also have Joe Flacco on the other side.
But if you had to if you had to just take everything away and just pick either EJ Manuel or Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, probably.
Right? That's to me. But I mean,
Mark
I know there's
Cooper's-
more to the game than that.
I haven't even picked this game. This is still a blank.
I'm still
for me.
debating because I really don't have a better option, but I have Amari Cooper in my flex, and with EJ Manuel quarterback, I'm still considering benching him, but. I mean, I just don't have a better option.
I mean, he threw to him a few times. But
I mean, it's not, and he's because Cooper has been one of the most upsetting stories of the fantasy. Like even with Derek Carr, he hasn't really been doing nothing.
I got him in one of my leagues, bro.
Like,
lived
he
up to
hasn't
that
been
bill, right?
at all. Like I don't know what happened to the AC/DC connection from last year, but I was hoping for it to continue this year, and it's been like, where you been? Like he's been dropping.
He's dropped
balls.
a lot of balls too. He's got the most dropped ones in the NFL, man. It's this game I haven't even picked. This is a hard one, man. It's
tough.
It's
dude.
tough to call without the
even
quarterback. Man.
I think overall though, I think Oakland's a better team than.
I think Oakland's defense can match up with Baltimore's defense.
But Baltimore still has that potential to have their defense has the potential to have a good game.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to be one dimensional. Yeah, but it's EJ
Manuel.
Well, now we know where you stand with EJ Manuel.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a tough one to call, man. But if
is Crabtree playing? I guess he is, right? I haven't heard he's not.
I don't think he's not. Yeah. He's been a better option than Amari Cooper.
Yeah, he really had. Over the last 2 years, he's been a better option.
I'm just going to go with the home field advantage on this one. It's
the black
to
hole is
call.
real.
Flacco is very
been up and down.
inconsistent for the amount of money he's getting paid. Man, he has not produced.
Yeah, the running game shoddy too.
Yeah,
You don't know who to trust.
you don't know who to trust. Macklin hasn't been doing anything.
Wouldn't trust any. Yeah.
They don't really have a wide receiver threat ever since Steve Smith left. So
yeah, Ben Watson's been productive in their offense. If that says anything. So
that's where this game's at.
Guy. Yeah,
maybe this is going to be the one I choose to be a tie.
I think Oakland wins. So yeah.
I think Oakland's defense can edge it out. They can put pressure on Flacco. Flacco has a horrible game. He'll throw like 4 interceptions. Right. You saw him play in London, how bad he was then. So I don't know. It's who do you trust more? This is maybe a defensive game with not much offense.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. But if I had to choose, I'd probably have to choose Oakland.
It's definitely the worst game of the last set of games. There's some really good games in the week. Moving on to the next game, Seattle and the Rams.
Late games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be a good game.
At the Rams, who have that questionable home field advantage there with this smaller crowd.
Nobody there. You probably have
But
more
they're still
Seahawks
in
fans.
LA, yeah.
You probably have more Pete Carroll fans there.
You probably will have more bandwagon Seahawk fans there, but
you'll see more USC.
they roll deep too.
Yeah.
I saw them when they came out here on that game. I'm picking the Rams.
I'm picking the Rams as well.
I'm gonna just go ahead and go against y'all. I'm gonna go with Seattle. I got a feeling that Seattle is getting it together offensive wise. The last 2 games they've been really good. Their defense is great. So, I mean, we've all known the Seattle defense to be one of the top defenses every year in, year out. I think the Rams, they've been doing great. Don't get me wrong, they're putting a lot of points, but they,
number 1 in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's the number 1 offense in the league.
Number 1 in the hood, G.
It's also a division game. Y'all know how those division games go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Russell Wilson finds ways to win, and to me, it's going to be a good game. This is probably the game of the week, or one of the games. One of the games.
To me, even the Rams have been beating the Seahawks even when they were sorry, even when they were 1, 2, 3 wins a year, and they've been playing them tough every year since then. So to me, that gives the Rams the edge now that they're playing good. To me, and Goff is doing well. He's
great,
exceptional.
Dude. Todd Gurley's picking it up.
Gurley's been awesome. They beasted against the Cowboys. They killed the Cowboys.
The Seahawks is a better defense than the Cowboys. I had to say and admit, but I don't know if I could trust that offense, that Seahawks offense. They played a good game last week, but they did play Indy. Yeah. So if that tells you anything,
the running backs are banged up in Seattle.
Also, the Rams also gave up 39 points to San Francisco. So
that's true.
Yeah,
Seattle's running back situation is bad though. I know Lacey may be starting.
People might start Lacey this week.
Yeah, Lacey might be starting, so I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
The
Russell
Wilson,
Wilson,
front line's
he's been okay.
I think Jimmy Graham will have a good game this week.
Baldwin, Lockett,
so Baldwin's always does good. So I would start anybody for Seattle just because Seattle, the Rams give up a lot of points.
I think I would flex Lockett, and I would start Baldwin as my wide receiver too.
Graham's definitely, play him. So, I don't know.
He's been up and down. I don't know if you have better options at tight end, which may not be likely considering where you drafted him.
Yeah.
If you pick somebody off on the waiver wire that's been doing pretty good, then I would start him.
Graham would be a good option, but he hasn't had that big.
What about the Rams receivers, Cooper Kupp, anybody that y'all would start today?
Man, I was thinking about starting Cooper Kupp. I know it's Seattle's defense, but they have holes. They get exposed, and then they put him in the slot.
I have Watkins benched.
Because Watkins is most likely going to get Sherman on him, right? So you would think that would open Cooper up. That's the reason that he stuck out first.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think I would start Watkins against.
I don't know if I'm going to start him just yet. I still have some time to think of my lineup.
Exciting game to watch.
That's going to be a good game.
It really is. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Whoever scheduled this NFL schedule,
is enticing to me. But this is a game I really, really want to watch.
This is going to be a good one to turn on.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with the Rams though. I think they're gonna edge it out. Jared Goff and Todd Gurley combo are looking good to me.
This is a good test for them to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good test, definitely
against
a good test.
a division opponent, like y'all are saying. I mean, if Seattle wins, I wouldn't be surprised at all either.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
but if the Rams win, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one at all.
That's a good.
Moving on to the one that everybody's waiting on.
Y'all been biting at the chomp
for this one. You know what we were waiting on?
Yeah,
this Cowboys and Packers. Ooh, the ever dreaded Packers.
Game of the week.
This is gonna be the game of the week.
I'm scared, guys.
I'm Chai.
I am very
I
scared.
love my
of the
Cowboys,
Packers.
but I'm very scared on this.
I love my
game.
Cowboys too.
No Sean Lee today.
No Sean Lee, and then Tyron Smith is playing.
Yeah.
We do get David Irvin back.
We do, man. See,
That's a big deal. But
that's
man,
gonna be a big deal. But
I am so scared.
that defense is what's gonna. That's my worry. So
Our linebackers giving up plays over the middle. Jalen
Right.
Smith, I love him, but he's not that dude as far as
we
pass
can't
coverage.
stop third downs whatsoever.
I think one thing that is going to help us out is when Montgomery's injury. He's doubtful. I don't even think he's going to play. If he plays, he's not going to play more than maybe
much.
5 or 10 plays.
And Aaron Jones, who I'm actually starting against our Cowboys just
I hope
because
he
of our
doesn't
run
do
defense. But it is one of those deals where our run defense is so bad that you might as well start the next man up.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
scared. I'm definitely scared Green Bay's going to beat us. I feel like they're going to beat us. I'm going to be a homer and ride with the Cowboys, but I honestly feel like Green Bay's going to pull off the win. But the Cowboys do have the potential to really, beat them. We are at home. They still have, Des Bryant. We have Ezekiel Elliott,
Yeah, Zeke should have a
Zeke
big
should
day.
have a good big day.
Their run defense is not good at all. Offensively, we match up well against them.
It's
Like,
that
all the
deep-
games are good. It should be a good.
It's the Cowboys'
high-scoring
defense against
game.
Aaron Rodgers.
We need our we need our corners to step up. Jordan Lewis is getting better. He's a tackling machine, but coverage wise, we need to stop giving up those big plays in the passing game, man.
And
And
Devontae
Jason-
Adams is playing
Devontae-
today too.
Yeah, I need Jason Garrett to open up the playbook a little bit, man.
Man, seriously,
Please.
something, dude.
Change
It's so
it up.
vanilla,
We-
like everybody can call like what
Your
they're about to
casual
do.
fans can sit there and call what plays we're about to run.
Our third down plays have been
Right.
just
Same.
bad. Yeah,
Like, come on,
we haven't
man.
been converting third downs at all. But it starts with first and second down too to get you in a good position to be
Yeah.
on a third down and short.
Yeah.
We're always
Third
a
and
third
short.
and long.
Or passing in
Third and
running
8, third and 9.
situations.
Yeah, man.
Get
or
in the red zone and you
take
start
a chance
trying to
on
throw
first down
yeah.
every
Yeah,
now
man.
and then. And we're always going to
Right?
give Zeke the
Throw a
ball. They got
bomb,
the box
yeah.
to stack. Yeah, our offense is
Our offense is vanilla.
pissing me off.
Vanilla.
I'll just say that. Like,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
definitely-
I would definitely start Zeke. I would start
We got
Dak.
a Napoleon offense. It could be great, but it
Dak,
also
Yeah,
Yes,
we're too vanilla right now, man.
Yeah. Need some
Y'all think
flavor.
he's on the line? You think he's
No, he's Jerry's little
He's
puppet
Jerry's
boy.
Puppet.
so
Jerry finds
never-
a yes men's.
You might as well erase that out of your mind. If anybody, maybe Linehan later on. But
Do something, dude. You're gonna need to do something different to beat Green Bay. You can't just run the same thing over and over. We're very predictable.
yeah, Dom
Very-
Capers is a legend, a defensive legend. Their defensive coordinator. No matter if they're having injuries or they have people
They
you
can
never
find
heard
a way.
of, they always find a way to get pressure.
Use our
Yeah.
weapons to our advantage. And then
Yeah.
because you know where Aaron Rodgers is going to run it up and down the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of him.
I
having
need
his
a big
time out
game
of the
for
pocket.
Des Bryant, man.
Des-
I
yeah.
definitely need a
Me
big
too.
game.
I
from
feel
him.
you on that. Des needs to come out angry. He needs to come out.
Like
This
he
is the
did
Packers.
last
This
week.
is the team that's been holding us back the last 2 years, man. So
Yeah, that's a big deal. They've been beating us.
They've been
It's
beating-
been like 6 or 7 against us. So
and
we need to turn it
I don't
around.
need. We can remember that we had a good, season game against them, but it's the playoff games that need to piss you off and get
Those
you fired
hurt.
up.
Right.
Yeah.
Put that on. Someone go print that out and put on in the locker room for material. That these are the guys that have been
Right.
holding y'all back.
Yeah.
Come
That's
out
a
there
big
and just hit someone in the nose. Play physical.
Right,
It's
get
just-
the ball to Beasley, man.
Yeah,
him
man,
make
let
some
Beasley
plays.
make some plays.
Switzer.
Switzer.
Yeah, Beasley.
Mix it up.
Beasley's
Mix
been
it
getting
up.
double pressure. They've been taking him out of the games. Him and Witten, they haven't been able to. They've taken away Dak's short, intermediate throws. So
Right,
they're
can we
making
get-
Dak stay in the pocket and throw
Can we
downfield.
get some
and he's
trick
not
plays
been able
in
to
there
beat
with
Yeah,
some of
man.
these fast
Something,
guys, some
yeah,
end
but
arounds?
You got
I wanna see
you
Switzer.
got decent
You know what I
linebacker
mean?
core
I wanna see
in
Switzer
Green
do
Bay,
something.
man. So you got to use what you got to veer them away. Make some trick.
Use some wide receiver screens if you have to. You know what I'm
Something.
saying?
Yeah, we need to.
Man, y'all
change it up.
remember Des can throw it. Beasley
Yeah.
can throw
Right.
it. Give me some trick
Left-handed.
plays. Give me something.
Yeah,
Right?
we're gonna have to pull out all the tricks today.
Today is a day. We're
We
2
can't
and 2.
fall behind. We can't
Nah.
let the Green Bay get up on us, 2 scores and think we're gonna be able to
No,
win.
we don't. Yeah,
We fall behind like that, it's gonna be.
We
done,
can
son.
definitely control the clock with our run game. If our run game is solid today, it should be. There should be no reason why we don't abandon the run like you did in Denver.
We need some pressure.
Run it up the gut.
We have been getting pressure, but last week
Yeah.
we weren't getting to the quarterback like we had been. I mean, we got I think 2 sacks, but we need some pressure.
I
Man.
think we can get some pressure today. Aaron Rodgers does not like to go down, so
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah,
you guys need to
Yeah.
understand. Wrap him up. None of this hand tackling. Just
Right.
put some pressure on him. Knock him down a few times. He starts getting flustered. Then we have a good route to take.
for sure.
And then let Zeke run outside a little bit. He's always running up the gut. Maybe
Right.
some sweeps on the outside. pull,
screens, maybe.
something.
Let him get out in the
That's exactly
open.
what I was gonna say. Let him get in space. He hadn't had space. He's negative as far as before he's getting hit. As far as negative yards, that's not good.
That's not good
He's
at
not
all.
getting any
They're gonna
space.
blitz.
Any running back, even as talented as Zeke, is gonna suffer from that.
They're gonna blitz. Let him chip play Matthews, and then let him out in the open and just run it 80 yards.
Yeah.
We can do it.
And Rafa said Dez can't walk the walk. Bryant, he needs a big game, man.
He needs to
step it up.
He heard us
especially against the Packers. Dez doesn't play for the Packers, but he's affiliated with the Packers because of the catch.
Yeah.
You think of Dez, and everybody, he's good with the catch, and blah blah blah.
Fired him up.
That's something that hangs over him right now.
It's time to redeem yourself, Dez.
And in case you guys don't know, Dez listens to the show because last time we called him out, and he had a big game the next game.
It's on you, buddy.
So Dez, I know you hear the show. Go ahead and have a big game, bro.
And with all that said, I still pick the Packers.
I'm picking the Cowboys.
I hate to say it. I'm not trying to be a homer, but I need some picks, and I just think they're gonna win. But if I'm wrong, I'll be happy.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, big game of the night though.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Kansas City, Texans.
Man.
That's gonna be
after last week. This is gonna be a big game, man.
The 4-0 Kansas City Chiefs.
The 4-0.
Jerry's Kansas City Chiefs.
Jerry, where you at?
Hey, the non-vanilla Kansas City Chiefs.
Man.
Look, man, I'm glad I ate my words. Kansas is
a
fun.
buddy.
Kansas is a fun team to watch, man. Their defense is great. Their offense is finding ways. Alex Smith is playing great. You got
Kareem, the new dream,
man. Kareem Hunt just is
that
boy just goes into the tackles and then there he goes at the other side. He's reminding me of Zeke last year.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, man.
Oh, definitely rookie of the year right now.
I think he's got to be the contender for rookie of the year, man.
I mean, who else is out there has been consistent 4 weeks in a row?
Yeah, and they're keeping their defense off the field.
And he wasn't even supposed to be starting at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
and look what he's doing. He's a starter now.
Yeah, I mean,
Spencer Ware's not going to come back to it.
Oh no, Spencer's going to have to just sit.
Houston's defense is good, but I think
they're beatable.
I think Kansas City's been playing smart. Yeah.
They've been playing. They're not. They're not turning over the ball a lot.
Right.
They can time manage really well.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's a good coach, man.
He's awesome.
Alex Smith is throwing the ball. He's legit throwing the ball. No dump offs, like 30, 40 yards.
Kelsey just needs to tone it down. Don't get those stupid penalties, and then Kelsey finds a way to get open.
Yeah,
right.
Reid creates different looks. That's gonna be.
It'll be a good matchup, though. I think.
I think with Kansas City's defense, Deshaun Watson looked great last week. He did. They put up 52 points. But he's still a rookie quarterback. This is a legit defense.
This is a legit defense right here. So
this isn't Tennessee, without Mariota
or New England.
Yeah, New England that's been struggling.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on this.
A lot of fantasy points in this game tonight, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Hopkins back on the radar now that he has a legit quarterback. Lamar Miller's been turning it up finally. It took him a couple of weeks to get going, but these last 2 weeks he's been beasting.
Yeah,
I got him starting this week for
Foreman
bye-week issues.
Yeah, Foreman was threatening for his job.
They were getting split shares in the last game. He definitely got the higher end of the split shares.
He stepped it up big time. Fuller came off of an injury and dominated, beasted, and I got him in my flex in both leagues. I got him off.
I was like, I'm gonna catch somebody. I'm gonna catch him. Nobody knows. Man, I went in the Chubb league. I'm like, well, let me go to the Justice League. Nope. Both.
That's why they call me Young Jimmy Johnson.
See,
calm down. You're still gonna lose.
My
today.
team sucks, but I make good moves.
But he makes great moves. He got all the moves.
He's already behind for Thursday night. So
it's all good though. Fuller's gonna help to come back. He came back and scored it. I mean, that opens up things for Lamar Miller and for Hopkins.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Big
I need Miller to go off today.
Big time. So
it's
Watson has
game,
a 1-2 check down. This
to me, this is the game to watch this week, man. This is gonna be a
prime time. It's gonna be a solid game to watch tonight. The best way to end the Sunday night football.
For sure.
It is a good one.
Clowney on their defense. It's going to be awesome.
Man,
you got some defensive stars on both sides.
Old school football.
Justin Houston for Kansas City.
Yeah.
I
mean, you thought after Eric Berry went down that they were going to struggle.
Nope.
They haven't missed a beat.
They haven't missed a
beat. And I've had Kansas City's defense, so I'm hoping for a big game from them. They've been putting up double-digit points for like 3 weeks in a row now.
I did pick up Deshaun Watson in one of my leagues, but I'm not starting him tonight because I have better options. But this is going to be one of those ones that it could either be. I think it's going to be a more defensive fight, and then let's see who can score first.
It's their rookie against rookie against rookie, basically rookie
it's
quarterback against
matchup,
the rookie running back. So
I give the edge out to Kareem Hunt though. I think he's gonna be the better rookie tonight.
I give the edge on this one to the coach, and I think Andy Reid will come in there with a great plan. I'm not a big fan of Houston's coach. He's good, but I don't know, man. Something about him. I don't like his coaching style.
I just want to hit that face. You want to punch it? No.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
I'm going with Kansas City.
all streets
He
got to
doesn't
come
care.
into
That's the thing about him. He just doesn't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
So he's just like, whatever. I'm just do stuff
win
my
the
way,
game.
and
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about is football. He don't care about pleasing anybody.
You know, one thing I do like about him, though, he does like trap music.
That's awesome. Hey, that gets him
There you
going.
go.
You in Houston,
Right?
Hey,
Some
it's
food
what
for
it
thought
is.
there.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Monday's night game is it's a division game. It's the Vikings and the Bears. We see we get to see another rookie start.
Mitchell Trubisky
We'll
making his
see.
debut
Man,
against
honestly,
the
I think
Minnesota
that helps.
defense.
I think that helps the Bears be
I
a better
think
team.
It should
And
be.
if anybody follows preseason, you know, as close as we do, y'all seen what he did in the preseason. He should have been a starter. I understand that he's a rookie and they want to, you know, don't want to rush him, but he was ready in the preseason. I think he's not even going to be fazed by it being his first start. I think he's going to make this an interesting game, to be honest with you.
I think they needed this
I hope
last
so.
game. Last week they should have put him in.
Yeah, he looked better than Glennon. It's
Yeah.
still going to be a tough
I mean,
matchup, though.
Minnesota
Yeah,
has
it's a tough matchup.
an awesome pass defense, but their rush defense sucks. And Chicago has a great running game.
Yeah.
Their 1-2 punch with Cohen and Howard. It's going to be a good game for Monday night. I mean, it's like you can't ever count out the division games, regardless of anything that's going on on either team with division games. You can't ever count nobody out. Chicago, I think, at home, they're still going to not pull it off, but it's going to be a close game to me.
Yeah, they've been playing tough. Their defense has been keeping them in some games.
But they're going to have a tough time, slowing down the top wide receiver duo in the league this week, with Thielen and Diggs. They're the top wide
big
receiver duo
time.
this week.
Big
this
time.
season so far.
Yeah, not by name.
So-
They're not big name guys, but
they put up numbers,
they've been
man.
putting up production. Chase Keenum's been doing
Numbers.
pretty good.
Yeah.
He had one off game, but they've been doing pretty
I
good.
picked up Latavius
I mean, they
Murray,
got
man,
Case
so.
Keenum
Yeah.
looking like a
He's
legit
back.
That's a big
quarterback.
deal. Latavius Murray is going to be starting due to Dalvin Cook
Dalvin
being
Cook
out.
is
So
out.
Cook
he's
is
a
out.
dynamic rookie, so that's a big void that they're going to
Yeah,
have
that's
that
a
they
big
haven't
loss for
had.
them.
Yeah, big time. I mean, Murray was pretty good when he was with
I wonder
Oakland.
how that's going to
Yeah.
hamper their passing game if they start stacking the box on him.
Right,
you know
he's
what I
not
mean?
as
Yeah.
quick as Cook though. Definitely
Oh,
not.
Yeah, definitely not.
He ain't
No,
no Cook, man.
he's
I'm
a
telling
more-
you, Cook is a beast.
He's a more
Yeah.
big.
I'm mad that
upright type of runner.
I was mad originally that I hadn't drafted Cook till he got hurt, but
Worked
you
out
know what I
in the
mean.
end.
Yeah, it worked out in the end, but man, he's
He's
legit.
definitely one. He's going to be going high next year when we draft.
Yeah, I was hurting for him when I saw he got hurt and was out for the season, man.
But that
But-
sucks for a rookie, man. Because especially
he
if you
was
come out doing
he was
good,
giving,
man.
Hunt a run for his money too
Yep.
for rookie of the year.
Yeah, Cook was
So-
beasting. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
You
good
starting
game.
Murray?
Yeah, I'm gonna start him.
Yeah.
I kind of had to.
Right, I hear that. Kyle Rudolph, somebody I'd still be starting. Diggs, Thielen.
Yeah.
I know Keenum. Maybe if you're like desperate.
No wide
don't-
receiver for Chicago.
I'm gonna go with Vikings on this one. Hopefully they
Kendall
put.
Wright. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Kendall Wright is their only option in
Yeah.
Chicago, pretty much. He had a good game last week, but he's gonna be going against Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough
That's-
corner.
Yeah, some of your best wide receivers in the league haven't put up much against Xavier Rhodes, so
Right.
I don't see how Kendall Wright's gonna be able to do that today.
I'm gonna
Or
go
Monday.
I'm gonna go for Duff and go for the Vikings on this one.
I'm going with the Duffster and
Go ahead,
Vikings
Duffster.
too.
Rejoice.
Purple Nation.
So that's all the games, man. I think there's some
That's
good games to
football.
watch.
Wraps it up.
Oh, and I'm sorry. Just speaking of the picks, though, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
in our pick, I just want to give a shout out real quick. Nick is in first.
There you go.
And then you got our
Moving on up.
Manny to our left, and
Right.
Picks
Modelo
in
Alfredo
place.
tied in second.
Second place.
Alfredo,
And
you went
then-
down, bro. What happened?
Yeah, and then Des
Told you I was
Nuts
coming back.
which is Adam, and Hookem, which is Jason in third place, and then in fourth place is Dylan. Just to give him a quick shout out, he was a special teams player of
Buffs.
the
Shout out,
week
go
for the
Buffs.
Hawks and Buffalo. So big shout out to him, and they had a great win this week. So I just wanted to touch on
They
that.
beat Keller,
They
right?
pick them, and everybody they beat Keller Indians in a last minute play. With 6 seconds left, it was awesome. It was
Wow.
one of the best games I've ever seen, like
Good.
period, live. It was pretty awesome.
High school games are no joke, man.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. It was
Right.
fall weather, like you guys said,
Yeah.
and Friday Night Lights is real
There you
in
go.
Texas.
Friday
Right.
Night Lights. Moving on to Saturday Night Lights.
Yes, sir.
So man, top 25 is gonna get a shakeup this week
Man, big shakeup.
with some upsets and
Big upsets.
First one I want to start off with is a team that I really despise.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Ohu got beat by Iowa. Jerry's Iowa State.
wasn't it?
Yep.
Good.
I didn't call the exact team, but I figured they were going to lose.
They were gonna
to
lose to
some team
somebody.
like that. I said OK State, but I figured they were going to lose to somebody in the Big 12 that they had no business losing to, and that's exactly what happened. They left their foot off the gas and allowed Iowa State to come back and beat them. And
Oklahoma moved up really quickly in the
they're
rankings.
going down,
It's 'cause
yeah.
it's the name that did it, but they went down. They're gonna drop. They're gonna have to drop
Big
a
time.
few
I
spots.
think that hurts Mayfield's Heisman chances too, man, to
Yeah.
lose to a team like that.
not only that, but they got the Texas game coming up this week. Also,
And
this
that's
next
always
weekend.
a tough game. That you
Yeah.
think when you think, and being a Texas fan, when you watch this game, you think automatically, man, Oklahoma's doing good, and next thing you know, they're up by 3 touchdowns,
Yeah,
and they're
seems like
you know.
whoever's
Yeah.
favorite loses.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
tough, man.
Yeah, Oklahoma's owned the Red River Shootout for
Yeah,
a
it
couple
would just-
years now.
Did y'all see how Iowa State planted the flag at Oklahoma?
Yeah.
That was
That's
nice.
pretty. Yeah, it's karma for you, right?
Shots fired.
Yeah, big time.
But yeah,
So-
man, we expect most of these games have been, the favorite's gonna win, top neat. But that was a big shakeup, and Louisville lost as well. North Carolina
Louisville
State.
lost on Thursday night. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson did his thing, but they still lost. Their defense isn't any good. So
We had
NC State-
Michigan.
Michigan.
Michoacan.
Michigan, the Khaki Bowl.
Yeah,
The Khaki Bowl.
khaki stock is down.
So the top 10 is definitely going to shake up.
It's
this
going to
week.
move a lot of stuff. I think TCU had a good game against another
Go
ranked team.
Frogs.
They're
TCU
moving
is
up.
going to creep into the top
five.
top 6.
Georgia is
area.
definitely going in top 3 now, probably.
Georgia's been solid, but man, TCU's won. They've been getting slept on the last couple of years. Now they're back.
They're back. That's exactly it. They kind of went down, but Kenny Hill is showing that he's legit. He's what everybody was hyping him up to be when he went to A&M originally. Transferred to TCU, had a shaky start last year, but
You
this
got
year
questions
he's
for
showing
it, yeah.
out. Yeah, he is showing out big time this year, and they should move down considerably. So they're going to be in the mix, man.
Right.
And then with the Big
Bama
12
struggled
championship
against
this year,
A&M too.
Yeah. So, Bama, but, I mean, they did their thing. Bama's still Bama.
Yeah,
Right.
still
Yeah,
Bama.
so they're still going to be number one until someone knocks them off. Florida lost to LSU, who lost to a terrible team.
Yeah, LSU's been up and down. And the highest they got was in the low 20s, and then they lost and then came back out. And I don't think they've moved them up, but some of these
Right.
rankings are gonna definitely get shaken up. But TCU's got to be considered to go up there somewhere, especially if Oklahoma lost and gonna go down.
Shout out to my Irish. They pulled it off again. So
Big
far,
time.
still
Still
only got
winning?
one loss.
Yeah, still in the mix.
By the
too.
way, all 3 of us are Irish fans.
Yes, we are. So
Go figure.
growing up Catholic,
Mexican Irish.
Yeah.
Right.
Your mother eats spuds.
But those were the biggest upsets of the week in the top 25.
Yeah. So
yeah.
we're
Other than that, everybody else did their thing.
Everything is-
Ohio
yeah.
State blew them out. I mean, there was quite a bit of blowout.
yeah.
to them,
Ohio
so-
State put like 60-some points up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clemson's
Oh,
still
Utah
looking
took
good.
an upset to Stanford. So
All right. Well, there you go.
that,
TCU. We were.
that was pretty much the top 25. There was only
Yeah.
those big upsets. All the other ones were basically what people thought it was going to be as far as what the scores and stuff were.
And I know you guys haven't really touched on baseball since the Rangers kind of just deplored and went horrible. But playoff baseball is back, man.
Yeah.
And we started earlier this week. We had some good. I don't know if you guys watch any of the wild card games.
Yeah, I
I watched the Minnesota and Yankees game. That game was awesome. It was an awesome game.
Home
to watch,
runs.
Man.
It was full of home runs.
Man.
It was,
They went up 3-0. Minnesota went up 3-0. And I'm thinking, man, like, oh, that was
The
that
first inning.
First inning. I'm like, these guys it's gonna be a tough game. And then
yeah.
Yankees, here come the Yankees
Yeah,
coming
there
on
was-
back.
Yeah, big time. Yankees had like 5. There was 5 home runs in the first 4 innings of that game, so there was a bunch of home runs
Yeah.
in that game. It was pretty awesome
But
to see.
The Yankees ended up winning.
Yeah.
They won 8 to. I remember what it was.
I believe it was 4. I'm not sure the
They put up
exact
8,
score,
but then now they're facing a tough Cleveland team.
yeah,
And now they're
Very
down
tough.
0-2.
yeah,
Cleveland team that won
Yeah.
20. What was that? It ended up being like 20.
20 something in a row.
Yeah,
And
23.
Girardi's getting some heat, man, by a lot of people.
the New York media is beast, man.
They're questioning his managing skills, and the man he hasn't won a lot of playoff games since the last time
World
they were
Series.
in, but you don't gotta beat him up that bad. They are playing Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland's good. They were in the World Series last year, and they were one of the hottest
Cleveland's-
teams going
yeah,
into the
into it.
postseason, if not the hottest.
Right.
And
Yeah.
on the other side of the AL,
And Lindor is a beast. He needs
Yeah.
his credit where that dude.
Yeah.
He's clutch as can be.
Lindor is definitely.
And their pitching too. They got outsmarted. Kluberg wasn't pitching the first game, so everybody was like, "What is going on with that?" They still won, and then Kluberg came back in. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. and then he was able to do his thing. So that's a tough draw for the Yankees
to
deal with.
I think Cleveland closes it out tonight or today. I think they play at 2.
Yeah, so.
Or I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But they do play today.
I'm not sure, but I think they'll end up winning the series. And then how about them Houston Astros?
Man, those
Astros.
guys have been on
Jose
fire.
Altuve.
They
MVP
started
probably.
dwindling down a little bit, but now it's time they woke up. I got a bet with my brother. I betted him 4th of July that Houston was going to take it, and I think I'm going to ride with the Astros to take it all the way. I think they can. I think they should beat Boston, and Cleveland should beat New York, and it should be Houston and Cleveland, and I think Houston would edge it out. That's going to be probably the matchup. I think that's to watch this year in the playoffs. If it goes that way, you never know with baseball. I don't think Boston has enough to beat Houston, and I don't think the Yankees can come back from 2-0 deficit.
The Houston acquiring Verlander was huge at the end of the year. I think he's going to come through, and he's going to be their ace no matter what. I think Houston will win that series also. But
and we did get an update.
See what happens.
Cleveland does play at 6:30 today, so
okay, great.
So sorry for the 2 o'clock.
So
game.
I might tune in a little bit between
that's
the games.
Between the breaks.
Right?
That's between the 3 o'clock
Watch
game.
Right, that's commercial break updates.
Yeah, for sure.
On the NL
Keep
side,
that on the thing.
on the NL side, we have
LA.
LA's beaten Arizona 2-0. That series is 2-0. LA definitely should win this series. And then your next one, surprisingly, people are counting out the Cubs already.
Yeah, nobody's talked about the Cubs at all.
But you can't.
They are the champs.
They're a chance for a reason. And I mean, they started off hot. Washington's got some good pitching, and
Bryce Harper's
on their team, but.
The Cubs started out sorry, and
Yeah.
then they got hotter later on. Yeah, because they started out bad earlier in the year. People weren't thinking they were even going to make the playoffs. And then
I definitely want to see. Yeah, I definitely want to see a rematch of last year with the Cubs and
the Indians. That's what a lot of people are calling for.
Well, that's what they're calling
awesome.
for. That'd be a good matchup again. That was one of the best World Series I watched. Game 7, extra innings. But I think this year, the Cubs aren't going to edge out LA.
I think LA's hot, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been watching a lot of baseball, but LA's hot.
Yeah, they're hitting home runs yesterday, big time. They got a good young team. So I think it's going to be LA.
I think they got some
LA
aces
and
in
Houston
pitching.
to
You know
me.
what I mean? They got you got Darvish, then you got Clayton Kershaw. Man, that lineup right there.
You can step it up. I don't mind rooting for you, but I think if it goes down the way I'm seeing it goes Houston, LA, which would be a good series. I got to roll with Houston on that one, though. So I don't normally like any teams from Houston, but I think I can support the Astros.
Yeah, but I mean, if you watch their games though, their lineup is solid. They're stacked.
That's a stacked team,
their
bro.
outfield, you can't hit anything out there. Those dudes gonna catch anything.
Little Altuve, bro.
Their infield, you can't hit anything. Correa, Altuve, they're phenomenal on
It's
defense.
a great
They're
team.
a good team.
You gotta
They're
give
exciting
credit.
to watch.
You gotta give credit where
Go
credit's
Astros,
due.
man. They're a Texas team. I
it's
only
hard.
hate them when it's not the Rangers.
It's hard to say that a baseball team is exciting to watch these days. And if you sit down and watch the Astros, they're an exciting team.
Man, they
I
can
saw
score at
them
will, though, man.
whoop-
They score a lot of points.
I saw them whoop the Rangers firsthand a few times this year.
In person.
Yeah, I've had to leave early. I don't know how many games against them, but they're legit. They're good. They're the best baseball team I've seen.
I'm calling it Houston, LA. Houston takes it. Cardinals, don't forget we got that bet. I would take. You can give me a 6-pack of.
I'll call the same.
I'll tell you what I want. You go
I'll
ahead
go
and
with the
buy it.
same.
Put it on ice for me.
Right?
With no further ado, though, then what's
happening?
happening?
What's
So-
happening?
Manny, you got some good what's happening stuff going on this next week.
Since we won't be on the radio or on the show before next Sunday, next Saturday, October the 14th, for all my boxing fans, it's a big night in boxing, very big night. We got 5 title fights in one night. It's the Premier Boxing Championship Series. They got 2 title fights going down on Fox. You got Lara is fighting. Hold on. That's the one on Showtime. On Fox, you have Santa Cruz and Abner Mars. They both are fighting on 2 separate cards. You have, hold them up.
2 tough fighters.
Yeah, 2 tough fighters. I mean, both of them, I would have liked to see them fight each other, but you have Santa Cruz fighting Avalos, and then Mars fights Gutierrez, and both of them are title fights, so they're going to be good fights. And then right after the Fox fights on Showtime, you have the one that I've been waiting on is the Jamel Charlo fight. He's fighting Lubin. Man, if y'all haven't seen the Charlo brothers, they're twin brothers that are fighting at the 154-pound weight limit.
From
and
Houston.
They're both from Houston.
Local boy.
They're from Houston or whatever.
They
but
fight locally too.
They fight locally. They get a lot of love from Errol Spence, one of the top fighters in the game.
In Dallas.
So that's definitely going to be a good fight. We have Eroslandi Lara. He's fighting that night, and he's 154 pound fighter. So that might be a matchup later on, with Lara and one of the Charlo brothers. And then we have Jarrett Hurd is for his first title defense against Austin Trout. Austin Trout is a great fighter. He's kind of on the decline, but it's still going to be a great fight. I mean, so that's 5 title fights in one night.
Those Charlo boys.
Boxing's been back on, in the spotlight. So it's been a lot of good fights this year. So y'all stay tuned to those, man. It's going to be some good fights that night.
Charlo fights are a spectacle. They're an
expect a knockout every time the Charlo brothers fight.
They're exciting to watch. They're cocky.
They come out there.
They back it up though. Yeah, they back it up just as much as they talk it. They're good.
And that's shout out to boxing for having 5 title fights, man. Right. Let's all eat. Let's watch it, man. It's
right.
They're not fighting.
They're finally like crossing the boundaries as far as like who's with Showtime, who's with HBO. If it's the big fight that people want, they're finally
gonna fight it, and they worked it out to where they don't overlap each other, man. That's shout out to boxing, man. It's about everybody making money, man. And
awesome.
5 title fights in one night. I've never heard of that.
So like a good night to stay in and watch some.
Yeah, it's a boxing.
Definitely.
For sure.
I know there's some soccer games going on for qualifiers that just happened. USA needs one.
Step it up. Man.
They need one more to get in.
Yeah, it's bad that they're even in that position to be.
They beat Panama 4-0, but
Argentina's in trouble. Also,
yeah, Mexico punched their card in, so they've already made it.
Go.
So, but yeah, tuned in. This time of the year starts getting interesting with the World Cup coming up next year. There's going to be a lot of good soccer games on. We're definitely going to cover the World Cup. I know that for sure.
Right.
It's nothing like some world-class soccer, man. It's other than that, you got anything else for the what's happening?
Dallas Stars started their season. Yeah. They're off to a rocky start, 0-2. Ben Bishop took a shot to the face. So he's out. Then we're stuck with Kari Lehtinen, and we've heard that before. And this dude let up 3 goals on 3 shots last night. So Stars fans, please don't give up yet. But damn, it's tough, man. We had these high expectations, and then Bishop gets hurt on the first game. Hopefully he won't be out too long. We wish him a speedy recovery.
Yes.
We need him back
ASAP.
Back. Please, Kari is not that dude. We need somebody else. Now I'm starting to wonder if we should have let up Niemi, but we'll see what happens with the Stars. And the Mavs are about to start, too. They're starting their preseason games.
Preseason
basketball. Smith had a first game. It was pretty quiet, but I'm excited to see the Mavs do their thing also.
Right. Speaking of basketball,
they're starting in the mid of October.
Anybody watch any Dwayne Wade?
I haven't watched any Dwayne Wade. Have you seen it?
I've seen a few highlights.
They're starting earlier this year. The season will start earlier because of the back-to-backs. They're taking out the back-to-back. Those because of people getting seated, and they're trying to be more strict about those rules. So that should be something interesting to watch for basketball.
Dak Prescott getting a new endorsement with Dannon after Cam Newton got let go from his controversial comment.
You said, Dak, he's going to be at the Omni Frisco, and me and Manny went to the Omni Frisco last week, and we got to see Jalen Smith and got to interview him. If you haven't seen that, and Rod Smith. If you didn't get to see that, it's on our Facebook, Instagram page. We got to ask him a couple questions, get some autographs, and we got the pleasure of meeting Miss Price, and hopefully we'll get to get her.
Shout out Miss Price.
Yeah,
she number one awesome. Cowboys fan.
She's been going to the training camp since the 70s, so she was pretty good. She was nice to me, and she was actually stating we may be able to get her on the show one day, so that's something we're going to be trying to work for on that. And Michael Sean, what's up?
What's up, Mike Sean? K104.
Come through, bro. I've seen you live on the. I've seen you live at Hyenas, and I know you got some shows coming up, so we definitely love to interview you.
Shout out to Mike Sean.
He's funny as can be. He's got a lot of stuff going on, so anytime he wants to come on here, it'll be a pleasure to have him on here. Right. So shout out to him, the whole K104 crew. I've been down with them since I was a little kid.
Right.
Yeah.
K10 Fizzo.
Yes, sir, for sure. Anything else, guys?
That's about wraps it up. You guys stay tuned. There's some good football coming on today. Y'all make sure y'all eat good. Enjoy your football Sunday. It's nice and cool outside. Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Cave. We want to thank you for tuning in and shouting out. This is your boy Juice.
Adolf.
Big Manny.
Y'all have a good week.
Peace out.